My Little Girl, written by Cracked Inkwell. Chapter 1. The Armored Pony from Under the Bed. 1986. It was the sounds of Bump and Owl that had awakened the 12-year-old girl from her sleep. Groaning, she rubbed the sleep from her eyes and reached for the lamp on the nightstand. After she turned on the light, she found herself blinded for a moment. She blinked as she read the clock on the nightstand. It was 2:17 in the morning. The sound of metal against metal had made her look around the room. At first glance, nothing seemed to be out of the ordinary. Her toys and a few books still laid in disorganized piles. The castle on her dresser was still there. The closet door was still closed, holding back her clothes, dolls, and who knows how many plastic ponies. The blinds hadn't been touched. The rug was just as it was when she went to bed. So what was that noise? Although her tired body was against it, she got out of bed to see if there was anything wrong. She went over to her room's door first, opened it, and there she found only darkness that followed tightly behind the hallway. She heard the metallic sound again. Her head turned in time to see that something quickly ducked back underneath the bed. Thinking it might be one of her brothers, she tiptoed over to her toys to get one of the ponies and a flashlight. She quietly went over to the bed, knelt down, threw the pony under the bed as hard as she could. Ow! She turned her flashlight on and peered under her bed. She thought that she might see one of her brothers who was trying to scare her, but there was a part of her that feared that she might actually see a real monster under the bed. What she didn't expect at all was to come face to face with a pony in gray. The pony seemed as surprised as she was, for it seemed to crawl quickly out to the other side of her bed. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. There before her was a pony, slightly shorter than she was, wearing golden armor, had big gold eyes, and his wings were spread open. A Pegasus! There was a real Pegasus in her room. She tried to pinch herself to make sure that she wasn't still asleep, but no, she felt it. Looking back at the pony, it backed itself away from her. "Hey, it's okay. I'm not going to hurt you," she said calmly as she crawled over the bed. What are you?" it asked in a male voice. The little girl stopped. "You can talk!" she exclaimed, for completely taking her by surprise for the fact that an animal was really talking to her. Sure," he said nervously. He was immediately tackled by this two-legged thing he'd never seen before. "I can't believe it," she shouted loud enough to wake a cemetery up. "A pony! Not just a pony, but a talking Pegasus in my room! This is better than Christmas!" "I can't breathe," he struggled to say. This snapped the little girl to realize that she was hugging around his neck a little too tightly. "Sorry," she said, letting go. But before the armored Pegasus could say anything, they heard a few bangs on the wall, followed by, "Hey, go to bed! Some of us are trying to sleep here." "Sorry," she yelled back. She knelt down in front of the pony. "So who are you? And where did you come from?" she asked quietly. The pony in question cleared his throat. "Well, call me Arrowhead. I am part of the Solar Guard for the Kingdom of Equestria. Now, what are you?" "A girl." "Uh-huh. And where am I?" "My room." "I can see that, but where is your room?" "Annapolis, Maryland." That's quite a funny name for a kingdom. Kingdom? Well, the pony looked over at the clock on the table, then over to the window. Must be in the middle of the night then. Odd. Why is it odd? Well, nothing. But thank you for your time, though. must be getting back. But you just got here. I'm not intending to stick around for long, so good night and goodbye. The Pegasus crawled back underneath her bed. Now wait a minute, you can't just leave, she said, following him back under the bed. She saw that the pony was going towards her headboard. Usually there would be a wall there, but now she saw a tunnel. Of course, she had heard before that curiosity killed the cat, but it was here that curiosity made her go forward towards the tunnel. She had read in books and seen movies and shows about kids going into another world that was filled with wonder. She knew that such an opportunity is only a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and tonight she was not going to let this pass her without knowing what's on the other side of that tunnel. She crawled and crawled and crawled, passing by the painted stucco, the wooden beams, the old toys, objects, and tools from forgotten time that gave way to a tunnel of stone. All the while, she didn't lose sight of the tail of the Pegasus, though the twists and turns this winding path led her. To where, she didn't exactly know. After several minutes of crawling through ages of dust, getting her usual pajamas dirty, she found an opening. Judging by the light, she could have sworn it must be daytime. So, Private Arrowhead, did you find anything? A motherly voice asked as she got nearer. I have, Your Majesty, but I don't exactly know if you'll believe me, though. And why is that? Before Private Arrowhead could answer, the little girl had crawled her way out. When the little girl looked up, she saw the gray Pegasus, along with a tall, whiter-than-snow horse with a majestic mane, a long horn, and a pair of wings. She saw that she had a crown on her head, along with a necklace shaped like the sun, and shoes on each hoof, all of which were a bright golden color. Part of her was in awe at what she was seeing, but part of her had questions. Wow, who are you? The tall white horse tilted its head a little. I am Princess Celestia, and just who and what are you, if I may ask? I'm a girl. The white royal giggled. Yes, but what are you exactly? A human being? She stated. Human. The one called Celestia craned her head to a hole in the wall. And you came from there? Yes. Curious. She turned back to her. I don't believe that I have gotten your name. What is it? Lauren. For a moment, Celestia froze. Excuse me? It's Lauren. Celestia put a hoof to her ear. Can you repeat that one more time? It's Lauren, she said. Lauren Faust. Lauren saw one of Celestia's eyes twitching. For a long while, she didn't say anything, shaking her head now and then. Am I in trouble? Young Lauren asked. What? Celestia asked. Oh, no. You're not in trouble at all. But why would you think you're in trouble? You look funny. Am I? She turned to the Pegasus. Private Arrowhead, may I speak with you in private? The Diac turned back to the little girl. Would you please wait here, dear? She nodded. She went up to a nearby couch and laid down on it as she watched the princess and the Pegasus go into a nearby room, closing the door behind them. Once inside, Private Arrowhead stood at attention in the middle of the room and watched the elder princess pace back and forth for a minute or two. Majesty, he asked, snapping the princess in a near trance-like state. Oh, that's right, Private Arrowhead. For the first time in I don't quite know how many centuries, I have no idea what to do with you. I don't know if I should thank you or put you under court-martial. Majesty, he asked with a hint of nervousness in his voice. Tell me this. What exactly happened? The private told the princess what he knew, from getting summoned to explore a forgotten hole in the wall, to finding himself in the little girl's room in the middle of the night, and coming back with the little girl following him. I see. The solar princess nodded. Tell me this also. Do you have as much as an inkling as to who that girl is? I don't understand. That out there, lying on the couch, believe it or not, is my mother. He blinked. Excuse me, princess? That out there, right now, is my sister's and my mother. Only though it seems that she's much younger than the last time I saw her. Your Highness, I beg to differ. She's a child. How can she be your mother? I know. She wasn't lying when she spoke her name. Besides, neither my sister nor I have heard her name or any pony saying her name in centuries. I do not know why she's so young now, but I can see that she looked at me in the eye when she told me her name. Alright, even if this is somehow true, what should we do now? Celestia sighed deeply, looking towards her mother. I have no idea, Private Arrowhead. I have absolutely no idea. And that was the first chapter to My Little Girl, a story written by Cracked Inkwell. Okay, so I am so sorry for any fluctuations in the audio, of my voice and everything. This is like my first audio drama, so I was pretty nervous about it. I had to continuously retake like a lot of the reading. I literally had to split it into sections in order to get it done. I think I split it into like 9 parts, starting with like the title and everything, and then going through each part of the story. If my male voice kind of sounded a bit off, I'm not too good at voicing male ponies. So it was a bit of a first for me. And yeah, it was kind of hard, but I think sometimes with my crackly voice, it worked. And my Celestia voice does need some working on, so hopefully throughout the reading I'll get a little better. I am also very sorry that this probably went up later than I expected. The program I was going to use for editing, about a week before I was about to start using it for editing, it crashed, and when I kept trying to open it, it kept saying it was damaged, so I had to take it to a tech person to see what was wrong with it and just basically get it uninstalled and reinstalled again. So yeah, hopefully that won't happen again, and I can start releasing chapters with a bit more consistency, maybe. Basically maybe the first and maybe only day that I recorded, I'll be able to edit everything together, check it for any roughness, probably redo 1 or 2 things maybe, and then just be able to have it up. Anyway, enough of my rambling. I hope you like this reading. The link to the story is in the description down below, and I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are. Good night, every pony.